This podcast was produced by OAR FM Dunedin with support from New Zealand On the Air.
Kia ora, and welcome to the Methodist Mission Southern's podcast series, Change That Works. Methodist Mission Southern's vision is of a safe, caring and sustainable society where everyone is valued, respected and enjoys an equal opportunity to lead a fulfilled life. The mission delivers a broad range of evidence-based services to people of all ages throughout Otago and Southland. Our social and educational services aim to develop skills and build resilience in every person we work with to create meaningful, long-lasting changes for themselves, their whānau and their communities. I'm Julie Roberts, Lead Grants and Giving, and today I'm talking to Christine Thomas, our Youth Transition House and Community Manager. Christine is here to talk about the mission's Youth Transition House services. Kia ora, Christine. Lovely to be able to have this kōrero with you.
Kia ora, Julie. Thank you very much for inviting me today.
Christine, can you tell us what is youth transitional housing?
Well, youth transitional housing provides homeless youth between the ages of 16 and 19 in the wider Southland and Otago area with a safe, comfortable home while they continue their education, training or employment and develop the essential resources and living skills they need to make supported transition to independent living.
Goodness, that sounds a big kaupapa. So how does a youth get a place in the house?
Well, everybody has an opportunity to access the service for the Youth Transition House. This can be by self-referral, whānau referral, by a referral from an agency they may be working with. It just depends on what's going to work for them. It's best that they contact one of the houses, and we'll give some information about that shortly, to be able to have a conversation with the coordinator to find out exactly what happens at the house and how that might work for them.
Sounds fabulous. So there's a lot of collaboration.
Yes, there is.
Work with all sorts of agencies.
Yes, yeah. We make sure that people are well connected into the community for any supports they might need, and that might be supports with mental health needs. It may be budgeting support. It may be support to apply for a job, get into some education. It may be support just to be able to not worry about what happens next for me and to have a safe place to decide where they want to go next.
Right. Lot of support. So how many live in the house?
We have 6 residents at any one time, and people are able to have their own room. And we have a communal living. People cook together. We do grocery shopping together. We have a weekly house meeting. So people are able to connect with other residents and, maybe try out their cooking skills or learn how to cook something that they might have not been able to before. And it's, for the Youth Transition House, food's really important to us.
Sounds like a lot of fun, 6 teenagers cooking at once.
It can be an interesting place in the kitchen, Julie.
And how long can they stay in the house for?
Well, they can stay in the house for up to 52 weeks. It is sometimes quite challenging to be able to go from nothing, nowhere to live and no connections in the community, to be able to transition into sustainable accommodation in the community and be connected to any supports they might need. But we have an opportunity for youth to be able to make some plans around working on their life skills, also making a plan for their education, and also to be able to plan about what it's going to look like for them when they move out and transition into sustainable accommodation in the community.
So it's nice to be flexible and accommodate all the different needs. I should think with 6, not one will be the same.
Oh, no, not one size fits all. Yeah.
So how is the service funded? Do the youth pay rent? You say they're in education or?
Yes, all the residents are on a benefit of some kind. Where if they're in education, it'd be a student allowance. If they're with youth services, it's a youth payment. Or if they're over 18, that would be a benefit from work and income. If they decide to come to the house, then a portion of their benefit will go will be paid in rent, and there's also a small cost for food, power and Wi-Fi on top of that.
Right, so they learn budgeting for when they have their own.
That's right, yes.
Flatting.
And in today's flatting environment, it's really important that you can manage your money well, because it's not a cheap thing.
No, food especially.
Yeah.
So as you mentioned, Christine, the core operational costs of the transition houses are majority funded by Ministry of Housing and Urban Development. But I know the mission, there's shortfalls for providing best practice wraparound, such as the client support workers, the Tuarāwharau.
We do, the mission do provide that support. The Tuarāwharau, our community services specialist, is one of the leading practitioners to be able to help people connect with mental health services, physical health services, a doctor or a dentist, whatever that might be. Help them make plans to connect in with maybe employment agencies. Look at maintaining attendance at education facilities, and the most important thing for everybody is to be able to find sustainable accommodation in the community. So that is a big thing that all the staff and the residents at the house see as their ultimate goal, is to be able to move from the transition house into your own place.
Sounds fabulous. I'm talking to Christine Thomas, the Methodist Mission Southern's Youth Transition House and Community Manager. Christine, how can people get hold of you?
My contact details are on the website, and they can call me. Also, my email address is there as well. They can also contact the house in Otipoti. The phone number is
03 487 7963, and our website is mmsouth.org.nz. So there's a raft of emails there, and Christine's mobile and the main number if anyone wants to get in touch. So what does a typical day look like in the house with these teenagers?
Well, when you say teenagers and typical, probably not quite the thing, but in the house, people have their own plans. So there might be some people going off to their course, some people might be going to school, some people might be getting ready to go to work, or some people might be firing up the computer to see what accommodation is available for them, and making a time with the with either the coordinator or the community services specialist to make a time to go and view a flat or a house.
Right, so it's quite busy.
It is busy. And then there's always eating.
Yes.
You know, we've got that's
Gotta fit that in somewhere.
Absolutely.
And I must give a thanks out to Good Bitches Baking here in Dunedin and in Invercargill. They give home-baked goodies once a week to the houses, which brings such smiles, and there's never any to photograph.
No, there's never any left.
No.
We usually, in Waihopai, the deliveries usually happen on a Tuesday.
Oh, right.
In the morning. By 3 o'clock it's gone, and the same applies on Fridays at in Dunedin.
Dunedin.
Yep.
So did we mention that there are 3 transition houses?
There are 3 transition houses. There are 2 that are for youth, one in Dunedin and one in Invercargill. And we also have a young mum's house in Invercargill. And we'll be having Laura Wilson, who's the coordinator for that house, coming along and telling everybody about the young mum's house in Invercargill.
When I tell her, that's next year.
Yeah, on another podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's lovely. So you've mentioned the intended outcomes for the residents. I notice on the website there's accommodation, education, employment, health, personal development. Do all the residents achieve? Do some of them go back to their families?
Sometimes people do. People go back to live with whānau. It might not be, they might not go back to live with parents. They might go back to live with grandparents. They might go back to live with extended whānau. They might go back and they might go and live with siblings. And everybody is looking forward to being able to have the space to make their own choice around that. So the house is a place to be able to make your own choices, to choose what's going to be right for you when you leave the youth transition house.
Sounds wonderful support. So we're coming up to Christmas and the holiday season. What happens over this time when things get a bit chaotic in most families?
Well, it gets chaotic at the house as well. People are usually are making plans about where and what they're going to do for Christmas around this time. School's finishing. Some people have finished their course but would like to get some employment, so that's a busy space. Also, people go and spend time with whānau, extended whānau, and sometimes people don't have that opportunity. So what we do at the house is we make sure that, here again, we do good food. We could do good food. We do some special outings. Whatever it is that the residents want to do for Christmas, it is their choice. So some years we have done huge amounts of decoration, Christmas trees and tinsel and all that sort of stuff. But in some years, the residents don't want to do that and they would rather have a quieter time. So it depends on who's going to be about.
Right. And I know another thank you I must give out is to Juanita at Foster Hope Otago Southland. They're super supportive of the transition houses with welcoming packs for when the youth arrive, flatting and bedding packs when they move out. Can anyone listening, can they help provide support to the house with these bedding packs, which are a big headache for you?
Yes, we like to be able to help people prepare to move out. And preparing to move out is to be able to gather together the things that are going to make it a successful and comfortable transition. So part of that is bedding packs, which usually have pillows and towels and sheets and duvets and duvet covers in them. And also essential things like maybe a jug or a frying pan or something like that. And we would like the residents to have new things to be able to start their houses with. So we look hopefully for people who are happy to donate new goods for people to be able to take with them when they leave us.
Right. Saying that, there have been a few occasions where elderly have downsized and they've had smaller items of furniture and things like that. But it's always worth asking if we can use them.
Yep, absolutely. And I do know that when people are downsizing, They have some really good serviceable items that we can certainly use to help people get their kit together.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a big thing to furnish a flat.
It's a big thing to furnish a flat, and when you don't have don't have people to give you things, you don't have extended whānau or whānau to give you things to move to your flat, then you have to start from scratch.
Right. That's lovely. Is there anything else do you think we've missed that people would like to know about the houses?
I'm not sure. People could always give me a call if they would like further information. And here again, the number's on the website. I'm happy to talk with anybody around, how they might be able to support us, or if people would like to know about the eligibility, about coming into the house, then certainly happy to have that conversation.
Thank you, Christine. And likewise with myself, if anyone wants to join our supporters campaign or get our newsletters, we have a monthly newsletter which shares news and stories about what's happening in the transition houses.